Hi, this is Tricky Nikki and welcome to my Q&A video. The first question is from Brian, who asks, what school do you attend and what is your major? I go to Old Dominion University and I'm studying psychology with a minor in criminal justice. Scott asks, how many times a day do you transfer? And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, how much do you dislike it? So on an average day, I'm transferred about 12 times, and it usually doesn't bother me. I usually only dislike it if we go to an amusement park, like Busch Gardens, because then the number doubles or triples, and it just feels like I'm being thrown around all day after being picked up like 30 times. Raycon asks, what's your worst fear and best memory? So my worst fear used to be needles until I started getting tattoos. So now my worst fear is getting weaker because I have a neuromuscular degenerative disease called spinal muscular atrophy type 3, which causes the deterioration of muscles over time. And so I haven't noticed myself getting weaker in a while, but I'm scared that I'm going to, because that's just the prognosis of the disability. My best memory is from soccer camp. I don't have a specific time of soccer camp, but I always have the best time there. DJ Westside Story asks, what are your long-term goals? So a really long-term goal for me would be that I want to pursue a career in forensics, particularly criminal profiling, but an overarching goal would be to be an interrogator because I like asking lots of questions. I also would like to go on a 1-year challenge one day or on a mission trip somewhere to a different country. I don't know how I'm supposed to travel in a wheelchair to a different country, but people make it happen. If they would send me their advice, that'd be helpful. I'd also like to apply to the U.S. national power soccer team one day. I know that I don't have the skills for it right now, but I'm in the process of training. Gregory asks, how do you typically approach someone, especially if you're meeting them for the first time? So typically I don't approach people because I'm shy and I'm afraid of rejection. But if I do, I usually start with a compliment, such as liking their attire, their hair, or whatever. It's easier for me to approach people over social media because instead of rejecting you directly to your face, they can just ignore your message. But sometimes I also ask people about the classwork that we're doing at school. Jordan asks, what advice do you have for Christians who struggle with any sort of disability? So I personally don't know what it's like to have other disabilities because I only know how to cope with my own. But if you are a disciple, especially in campus, you are usually very busy. We have a lot of events going on throughout the week. On Monday, I have Bible talks. Wednesday, there's church. Friday, there's Devo. And Sunday, there's church again. And I'm also in about 3 or 4 Bible studies every week. And so I know some people are busier, but having a degenerative disability means I get tired quicker. And so being a disciple is exhausting. I mean, just living with a disability in general is exhausting. But I typically drive about 4 people to church on Wednesdays and Sundays sometimes. So that adds about an hour and a half to 2 hours to my commute. And so when I am driving, it makes me tired, and I get tired more easily than other people, and it takes me longer to gain strength back. So being a Christian, it has taught me to rely on God more because I don't know what I'm doing, but God does. So the advice that I would give you would just be to trust in God, because I'm progressively losing strength over time, but I have noticed that God has been giving me strength still. I just think taking everything that you're dealing with and giving it to Him would be the best way to handle that. The last question is from Taya, who asks, how do you get your teeth to white? Well, I use 3D Crest whitening strips. I don't use them as much as I should, but I used to use them about once a week. And I also use a straw to drink carbonated beverages and things like coffee and tea and sugary drinks, because those can make your teeth yellow or brown because they tear down your teeth. And I also am very particular with brushing my teeth and flossing on the daily. Thank you for those who contributed questions, and thank you for watching. See you next time.